All right, guys, so this is an interesting story I wanted to share with you here. Defamation trial yields revelation CNN's revenue has dropped some $400 million in 3 years. Jesus Christ. All right, let's get to the specifics. Shortly after a Florida jury found that CNN had defamed Navy veteran Zachary Young, I literally have no idea what this story is, by the way, and awarded Young $5 million in damages on Friday, the network was dealt a second blow as its revenue losses were publicly revealed on the witness stand. The Florida jury reached its initial decision in Young's favor early on Friday afternoon. The case concerns a November 2021 report from Alex Marquardt, nice name, packaged into segments on Jake Tapper and Jim Acosta's shows that the jury determined had defamed Young. After the verdict was reached, the trial moved into its second phase, during which the jury will decide how much more money in punitive damages CNN owes Young. In that second phase, Young's team called forensic economist Robert W. Johnson to the stand to act as an expert witness in determining what the punitive damages should be. Under direct examination from Young's lawyers, Johnson dissected tax documents given to the plaintiff and explained that CNN had brought in approximately $2.2 billion in revenue in 2021. Jesus. $2 billion in revenue in 2022 and $1.8 billion in 2023. Okay, so yeah, there was a big drop, but also those numbers are colossal. That represents a $400 million or 18% drop over 3 years. Okay, we all know why that is, right? Let's be honest here. We all know why that is. No Trump. There was no Trump. I mean, to be fair, by 2023, he was like in full effect running, etc. So maybe that's not a perfect explanation, but I still think it fits to some extent, right? Because during the Trump era, they made, I think, way more than this. Despite its falling revenue, CNN still boasted net incomes of $600 million in 2021, $300 million in profit in 2022, and $400 million in 2023. Its cash flow profit from 2023 came in at $424.9 million. So they're still fucking swimming in it, bro. Fox News' Joseph Wolfson provided a handy set of screenshots from the slides Young's lawyers showed jurors on Friday during Johnson's testimony. So wait, is the idea that they're saying, hey, look, we lost $400 million, so don't make us pay that much? Is that what they're trying to do here? But damn, that's a lot of money, bro. Profit of nearly $500 million. They're not worth that. I mean, they're just not, right? For the numbers that they get. I mean, it literally is like a legacy project, right? It's like they'll just take a shitload of money from pharmaceutical companies and health insurance companies and defense contractors, and they just like, here, throw all the money at CNN so that CNN doesn't really rock the boat. And what do? You know what their game is. I know what their game is. It's false equivalence all day long. It's Democrats and Republicans and our esteemed, honorable gentlemen on the right and the left. I mean, that's what it is, right? They continue here. The numbers provide a rare look at the financial health of a cable news behemoth. It also showed that in spite of its struggles, CNN remains extremely profitable. On the witness stand on Friday, Johnson argued that CNN's revenue, rather than net income or cash flow profit, should be used to determine the punitive damages it must pay Young. CNN did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So look, I mean, I was always hesitant with there's a lot of like, and this happened for a long time online where people talk about like, you know, the death of cable news. And to some extent, I think that's true. With MSNBC, it already kind of is true because they're being spun off. They're not going to be under the NBC umbrella anymore, and they're going to have to sink or swim on their own. And I think that's a serious, serious problem for them, right? But I was always hesitant to feed into that idea of like, oh, they're going to be done soon, because they are like staples of modern society propped up by colossal amounts of big money and corporate interests. And so with that being the case, they can sort of coast off name recognition alone and just sit back and make $500 million profit without breaking a sweat, getting fucking 40,000 in the key demographic for shows and making $500 million in profit for a year. I mean, that's crazy, bro. They're like, I can get more views in the key demographic, and obviously there is zero comparison between the revenue we make and the revenue they make, right? And it's because they just get propped up by corporate interests. They get propped up by the powers that be. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party take these networks seriously, right? And so lost $400 million, but still making that much money. Now, here's the question, right? How much does Fox News make, bro? How much do they make? It's got to be like at least triple what CNN makes. I would guess it's what? Over $1 billion, maybe $1.5 billion or more in profit. And by the way, why do you think they were able to pay that $787 million judgment? Remember that? So this is CNN being knocked on defamation. By the way, I have no idea what that story is that they defamed that dude for. But you had, well, it was the Dominion case where they were like, you motherfuckers have been lying about us. You said we stole the election for Biden. No, we fucking didn't. You have zero evidence of that. You smeared our name. You affected our business. You defamed us. And so now you're going to fucking pay up. And they lost. Well, there was a settlement, but they would have lost had it gone to trial. They didn't want any more discovery to come out. Because from what we learned, it was already incredibly embarrassing for Fox News. Tucker Carlson and the rest of them behind the scenes basically admitting like, hey, this rigged election stuff is fucking crazy, isn't it? Hey, Sidney Powell is mental, isn't she? Hey, I hate Donald Trump with a burning passion, don't you? Why, yes, I do. I despise him. Nothing positive has come out of the Trump years. Like, this was all on the record, and Fox News was like, hey, stop the bleeding. We don't want people to know how full of shit our hosts are, how they lied as a matter of standard operating procedure. So here, we'll give you 700 to just be able to say, yeah, we'll give you 787 million. How much fucking money do they make, bro? How much money do they make? So we're always going to have to contend with cable news, aren't we? Because these numbers are, I mean, they're just, imagine trying to compare this to what anybody online makes. There is no comparison. And they have the esteem that comes along with the name. They have the respectability granted to them by the two political parties and the moneyed interests, right? And it's just an uphill battle. And the other thing is they control the narrative for the country politically. Fox News really leads the way, but these others have the ability to help control the narrative and steer the narrative. Wow. So they lost 400 million, but man, they are still fucking swimming in it. And that's it really is a shame. It really is a shame. Because we all know Fox News hopeless, Newsmax hopeless, One American News Network hopeless, Daily Wire hopeless. Like, MAGA media is hopeless. Right-wing media is hopeless. They are professional propagandists and liars. But here's the other sad reality. CNN is not up to the job of countering that. They're just not. CNN is the both sides network. CNN is the false equivalence network. CNN is the, we're respectable network. That's what it is. So the right has a much louder megaphone, and the left is non-existent when it comes to media. But goddamn, are they making a shitload of money even though they went down? And we'll see if that goes up during the Trump era. But I think we've already seen them try to cuck themselves to Trump, right? We've already seen that. We saw that on MSNBC. We see it on CNN. And I think they think that'll help them, but I don't think it will. I think they're just trying to prevent Trump from, like, delicensing them or, like, using the government to crack down on them or investigate them. I literally think that's what it's about. And so they're going to kind of go soft on Trump in the Trump era. So, I mean, lane wide open there. But these numbers are, even though they lost 400 million, this is nothing to scoff at. Corporate media is still an absolute behemoth that we must contend with. All right, guys, that's the show, y'all. Love y'all very much. Everybody do me a big favor. Please click like and click subscribe and all that fun stuff. Click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. Deeply, deeply appreciate that. And thank you to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. We do not make $500 million in profit every year like CNN does, or more than that like Fox News does. You guys pay us $5 per month at a time on Patreon, and some of you tip on YouTube. Some of you pay on Substack to get the full Crystal Kyle and Friends video every week. Again, I'm very appreciative because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here without you guys. We're real independent media. We are real independent media. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser. I'm very proud of that. You guys made it so I could do that. You made it so I can do that. And we have like a pure show here with zero negative incentives and inputs. So anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.